This is our Forex blog for March 27th, 2015, and I'm showcasing our trading signals, and this is what I actually see that marks every swing high and low. It shows trend lines, the trend line angles, it shows intra-bar Fibonacci areas, and it also shows the trade pattern. Basically, when you get our software, you actually just see buy and sell arrows and the trailing stop, the same as this. This is just a quick blog. I said I would do one a week. I'm 100% focused on trading and improving our automated trading systems. We release those as signals in the software that basically, like I said, just show up with little red and green arrows. This is a 3-line break 24 pattern. It just made a higher high. The 3-line break is green. As you can see, it made a 4-bar pullback after a 5-bar up, and both of the last two swings were above the hourly moving average and the 15-minute moving average, and that's what makes up that pattern. Let me just show you the results for the week. Keep in mind that this is after the fact. I take the trades each day that I think need work and fix them. I add 5 or 10 new patterns, and then these are the results after that. Friday, there was a huge day, 491 pips. I didn't calculate the correct win percentage. It's 16 wins out of 21. We'll change this. Average win, there's 16 now. I just made another addition. 32 pip average win, and yeah, that looks right. 5.8 pip average loss. With these kind of win to loss rate, you can even be 30% winning and still make money. And I added a lot of patterns this week, so if you look at your charts and you don't see some of these trades, that's because they're in my version. I just put them in Friday and today. Thursday, 80% winning, 455 pips, 24 pip average win, and 6 pip loss. So 4 times bigger win the loss. And Friday was even bigger than that. Most days it's 1.5 to 2 times bigger win the loss. Here's Wednesday. Only made 163 pips, 55% winning, but over 20 pip average win and slightly under 8 pip average loss. Tuesday, 292 pips, 80% winning, and super tiny losses. There was a couple losses that were just absolutely horrendous, and I added extra code to pretty much make them only hit when they're likely to work. They probably might fire once or twice a week, the ones that had losses. So, once or twice a month. So this is a 5 times bigger win approximately than loss, 80% win. And then this is the best Sunday Monday we've ever had. Most Sunday Mondays only make about 150 pips. Market's usually oftentimes dead, or because of Sunday's gaps, a lot of trades don't trigger. I have rules to protect against Sunday night gaps because that causes a ton of losses before, and I found that out, and I put in rules to prevent some of the most Sunday-prone errors and Sunday-prone losses. So 478 pips, 71% winning. Now again, keep in mind that this is, I look at all the trades that happen during the day, fix the ones that don't meet the pictures that I take when I create each trade. If there's certain things that happen that make the trade invalid, I put in extra rules and get rid of them. And I also add 5 to 15 new trades each day, usually 5 or 6 new trades. So, on this day I might have fixed 2 or 3 patterns and added 5 or 6 new ones. It might have only had 150 pips before the work I did on that day. So keep that in mind when you're analyzing these insane results. This is after the fact. I don't keep stats in the morning. I wake up and get to work to fix what's wrong, add new patterns that weren't found. So let's just go through some of the trades today. Here's the euro dollar. It's downloading the data right now, calculating all of the swings, and doing over 1,630 different patterns for the last 5 days. So it takes, usually 30 or 40 seconds. Let's scroll back to the beginning of the day. I'll make this chart bigger. Probably by the time I'm done making it bigger, the results will show up for the day. Yeah, you can see it's drawing it as it goes here throughout the day. And this day the trend was down. We have a double, not quite a double top, but 78% Fibonacci retracement right to the hourly moving average. The last swing high was near the hourly. The last one was underneath it. The trend is clearly down. That's a huge win. The market made a new low again, slightly lower. Was not able to make a new low, then went sideways. Usually when the market's far underneath or above the hourly moving average and it goes sideways for a while, it's a pretty safe breakout. And so that pattern was found. That was good for, it looks like over 30 pips. This trade right here failed, had a small loss. The trend was down, and we like to sell at the hourly moving average. And then this trend went up, but it came back down and it went underneath the hourly moving average. So it's usually pretty low probability. Once a trend looks like it's going to be up, if it pulls back underneath the hourly, I tend not to buy, and miss that trade and such. And the market's making a new high, higher than the last few highs. This is a new high for the day. On my version, I mark new highs of the day with white swings versus red, so I know that this is a new high. Pulls back, touches the very fast digital signal processing based 5-minute moving average, and all the slopes are up, and that was a huge win. Good for 10, 20, 30, 40 something pips. Those trades, are less than that. And the rest of the day there was nothing. Let's look at some other currency. Here's the euro pound, and it typically causes me huge problems, but today you can see it had a very small loss. Then it had a narrow range break. After a big move down, it went sideways for about 30 to 40 bars for many hours. You can see this is 1 o'clock. It sold this breakout over 12 hours later. Very tight, less than 15 pip range, and that was good for a huge number of pips. And then you can see these lines on the chart here. These are intra-swing Fibonacci profit targets. In other words, probably this area here to here. No, that's not it. It's possibly the swing high. Yeah, from this area to this area, it's over 40 pips. I look for fib profit targets of the current swing that's coming down. Anytime it goes down and goes sideways for a little bit, I count that as a mini swing low. I don't mark it on the chart. I don't mark it in my swing analysis, but I do use it to come up with fib targets. And when the markets come to these fib targets after being down, usually 40 to 80 pips or more, it tends to reverse, and of course it does. So there was pretty much a loss, big win, and that looks like all there was. The rest of the day on Thursday there was no trades. Wednesday, no trades. This day you can see small win, small win. Let's look at some of the other currencies. Let's put the pound up. Let's scroll to the left. Take a look at the pound as it comes in during the day. And if you're a manual trader, there's a lot of trades that you could take that are systems, even though there's over 1,600 different trade patterns. Most of these patterns have 15 to over 50 rules. Very, very strict. You can see there's just a few trades. This one right here, if you're a manual trader, you might have saw this little wedge pattern and sold the breakout just a few pips short of where our signal got in, and that was good for about 15 pips. This is a pullback to VWAP and the 15-minute moving average, which you can see was a loser. If you're a manual trader, you could draw your trend lines on this and see another little wedge pattern. It broke out of here and kind of, failed to go back down, and takes that breakout right here. You could go long with your stop right underneath that bar's low with less than 10 pip risk and catch this nice 50 pip win. Obviously, It's very hard. I code up each pattern to be as specific as you can absolutely imagine. So these kind of trades tend to, you can easily see these as a human trader. It's very hard to get a computer to take those trades. So you should do better than our system, but our systems should hopefully help you find trades that you might not see, like this one. The index 164, that means the pound is going up on our currency indexes and the dollar is going down. This one I would take very cautiously because it's right at our 4-hour statistical high, so it's pretty likely reversed. But the fact that it went up here and just kind of went sideways like that for so long, it's very high probability. You get in that trade with a very small risk, and you can see the win versus loss is usually bigger in most of our trades. Here's our interest swing fib target. Again, the risk is very small, and this is how much you made, because on this pullback the trend was up. It actually bought here, and again the risk was small and the win was a little bit bigger. Not quite as big as the win-loss ratio on this one. And that's the key behind our systems. I try to find, my goal in coding each new pattern is, should this trade work 60% of the time? And if so, is it going to generate on average 1.5 times or 2 times bigger profits when it works versus when it doesn't work? I also keep statistics on each single trade type, and when I see every week, and especially at the end of each month, I code up I analyze the stats, and I will see, for instance, like this one right here, 321. It only made 0.1 pips. I'll search for 321 in the past, and it hasn't actually hit since I kept stats. Let's search for 441. That one also didn't hit in the past. 969. Or let's search for NR break, just 30. This one lost 0.6 pips that time. It made 15 pips that day. It made 10 pips that day. It made 1.9 pips. It lost 6.5. It lost 15. It lost 5.5. It lost 11. So, and then this day it made 22 pips. I just picked a random pattern. So it has quite a few wins. If I see a pattern that is 50-50 or it has huge number of losses, I'll put an asterisk next to it, and I tend to take pictures of the trades when they show up, like this one. 4.5 pips, it lost, and I will analyze that after I get about 5 or 6 trades. I look at the pictures and see what do the winners have in common that the losers don't. I put in additional rules that should get rid of a ton of the losers while keeping the winners. That's my goal. Again, I sleep at night with this thing trading, so high win percentage and also much bigger wins versus loss is my main goal. And even though there's 1,600 patterns in there, I might have 2,000 or 3,000 more to code before this is absolutely perfected, because every day there's a ton of trades that I see that I would have taken if I was manually trading that the computer did, it missed. Because remember, if I have a pattern that has 50 rules in it, if any of those 50 rules don't hit, it doesn't signal a trade. And that's mainly designed to prevent as many losers as possible. Not losing money is my main goal. Making a ton of money is my second goal.